we're doing a food tour here in Palo Alto. So fun fact is that I actually used to live here with my ex. Yes, the one who left me for his mom. And back then, I always felt like the food scene here was kind of mid. It was either way too overpriced or just kind of bland. Despite the emotional trauma, today we're here to explore a handful of spots that might actually be worth coming back for. From longtime favorites to new spots that will not cost you an arm and a leg, because we all know that Palo Alto is bougie as hell. And if you guys like videos like this and want to see more food tours around the Bay Area, please give me a thumbs up. That would seriously help the channel. And yeah, let's get chonk. So first up, we are here at Ramen Nagi. This is a Japanese ramen spot that's originally from Tokyo, and there's always lines out the door. And before you all come at me and say it's overhyped and not worth the wait, I personally really like it, okay? And as someone who has tried many different tonkotsu places here in the Bay Area and in Japan, I honestly think this is a really solid place for tonkotsu broth. So when you arrive, they actually give you this pamphlet where you get to customize your order. Whenever I'm here, I always go for the original king because I just want to keep it nice and simple. I usually get standard for most things except for the spicy sauce. I want a shit ton of that. I also like to pick the firmest options for noodles because they would just soften over time in that broth. We're also gonna get the gyoza because they do that pretty well here. All right, and here we have the gyoza. Just look at this beautiful golden skirt right here. It also comes with a sweet dipping sauce. Let's give it a try. Wow. First of all, you're definitely getting that really nice crunch when you first bite into it. I just really like how all these dumplings are connected with this beautiful skirt. That's really what gives it that crispy texture. And the filling in here is kind of like a mixture of veggies and pork. It's so flavorful and so moist and tender inside. If you know me, you know I love a good textural contrast, and this is a great example. The gyoza sauce here is also incredible. It's like gingery, it's slightly sweet. It's just so savory when you pair it with the dumpling. The only critique that I have is I do think these dumplings are on the greasier side. They definitely use a lot of oil in order to get that pan-fried texture. That said, it's still a very good gyoza. And here we have the original king ramen. I just want to shove my face in there because it smells so good. It comes with this beautiful tonkotsu pork broth, scallions, wood ear mushroom, chashu pork, and some spicy sauce on top. I'm gonna try the plain broth first. Oh my god, this just always hits the spot for me. It never fails. It's so rich and creamy and flavorful and fatty, just in the best way possible. That pork flavor in there is so pronounced. It's so savory, and you're getting tons of umami from that pork essence in the broth. And now I'm gonna mix the spice in and give it a try. It is spicy. Totally did this to myself because I picked level 4. But it's really because I just love how the spicy sauce really elevates the flavor of the broth here. It's spicy, but it's with a purpose because you're getting this really lightly sweet flavor from the chili pepper. So it just adds a lot more complexity to the soup itself. And when you combine it with the green onions and the mushrooms, it just really helps cut through the richness of the broth, adding like a freshness to it. Now onto the noodles. The noodles here are just perfectly straight, firm, and chewy. Kind of like a al dente texture. That's exactly how I like it. And what I really like about the noodles here is that you're getting this light, eggy flavor in the dough. So good. And now let's try some of that tasyu. It's literally melt in your mouth tender. I just love how it falls apart in your mouth. And it really has the perfect fat and lean ratio in there. And now let's try the soft boiled egg. So perfectly cooked with that silky golden yolk in there. Super creamy, and it goes so well with the ramen. For me, this is definitely the best ramen I could get here in the Bay Area. It's just my personal preference. I just love a good tonkotsu, and they just do it so well here. This whole bowl of noodles is just so savory, it's rich, it's so comforting. It really cannot get any better than this. So right now we're here at Palo Alto Creamery. This diner is super iconic in Palo Alto because it's been around since 1923. And as you walk right in, you really feel like you've been transported back in time because of the interior here. It's super retro. You can still see the jukeboxes as well as the many booths here. And before we dive into the food, I do want to give you guys a little heads up. This place is definitely on the pricier side. It's not exactly bang for your buck, but I still think it's worth coming because if you know exactly what to order, it can really hit the spot. spot. For me, the sweet stuff is where they really shine. They've actually got their own little bakery on the side, churning out cakes, pies, and different kinds of desserts. And I would say they're pretty consistently good. So whenever I'm here, my go-to order is going to be the carrot cake. And today we're also going to try their key lime pie, which is another crowd favorite. So here we have the carrot cake right here. I just love this little cute decoration on top. It's stacked with 4 layers and then it's generously coated with their cream cheese frosting. All right, let's give it a try. This is so good. The cake is definitely on the denser side, but it is really nicely moist. And I just love how it's actually not too sweet. It has enough grated carrot in there to give it that natural sweetness. You're also getting that nice cinnamon and nutmeg notes in the background. And then the cream cheese icing here, it's tangy, it's creamy, and not overly sweet. It just pairs with the cake so well. The only critique that I have is that the frosting here could be a bit too much. There's layers of it and it's all thick. But this is more of a personal preference, I must say. This is overall still a very solid carrot cake, and I would always come back for this. And here we have the key lime pie. It's topped with this whipped cream. It's definitely a generous portion. It looks so good. All right, let's give it a try. That filling in there, it's so smooth and so creamy and just packed with that zesty, citrusy flavor. I do think the pie leans more on the sweet side than the tartness. It could have a better balance of tart and sweet, but that said, it's still a pretty good key lime pie because the bottom of the crust is amazing. It's nicely buttery and it just has the right amount of crumble. And of course, that layer of cream on top really helps soften those lime flavors. It's a really good pairing. Overall, this is a pretty refreshing dessert. Not bad. So right now we're here at Coconuts. This Caribbean restaurant has been around since 2008 and it's run by the same chef that owns the famous backyard here in the Bay Area. This is actually my first time trying this place out, which is pretty wild considering I've heard so many great things about this place, but I have also heard that the quality can be a bit inconsistent, so we shall find out, to be decided. We're gonna go all in today with their sampler platter for appetizer, and we're gonna try their classic jerk chicken with rice and beans and plantains. So here we have the sampler platter, which includes coconut shrimp, beef patties, jerk chicken, as well as this crispy pork bites. It also comes with different sauces. There's tartar sauce, mango habanero sauce, as well as jerk sauce. I think I'm gonna try the coconut shrimp first. Oh yeah, the batter, it's so crispy. And then on top of that, there's a really distinctive coconut flavor in there. That's what really makes it stand out. It's slightly sweet, oh, so good. And then the shrimp inside is really plump, it's really juicy. I think the batter to shrimp ratio here is perfect. It's so well done here. And then the mango sauce here just takes it to a whole new level. It adds this incredible brightness. It's tangy, it's sweet. A really great contrast to that savory shrimp. Pretty damn good. And now I'm gonna try the jerk wings. It's really nicely tender, and I do like that little char that kind of gives it that smoky flavor. You can also taste the Caribbean spice right away. It's a bit peppery, it's a bit tangy, and that jerk sauce definitely adds a bit of heat as well. Not bad. And now I'm gonna try the crispy pork bites. It's a mouthful for sure. So what I really like about it is that I think it's glazed with this guava and pineapple sauce. You can definitely taste the fruitiness in there, which is really nice. Very tangy, tropical flavor in there. I do wish it was more marinated. I feel like the flavor could pop even more. And when it comes to the pork, I do think it's a bit on the drier side. It is tender, but I do wish it was juicier. But that said, the caramelization on the edges there is pretty nice. And now let's try the beef patties. I'm super excited to try these because people have said such amazing things about it. Some say this is the best beef patty here in the Bay Area, so let's give it a try. I really love how the pastry is flaky, it's buttery. The dough is also slightly sweet on its own. And then that filling inside, I think that's really what makes this dish stand out. The beef is so juicy in there. It also has this really nice, spicy, savory flavor. You can definitely taste that Jamaican curry spice in here. It packs a bit of heat. People also recommend this with the mango sauce, so let's give it a try. Oh yeah, it goes really well together. You have to try this with the mango sauce. It just brightens everything up. It's nicely sweet. It just adds so much nice flavors to the patty because the patty itself is a lot more savory and that brightness just really helps cut through the richness of the beef. And here we have the star of the show. This is the main dish and I actually got jerk chicken with dark meat. It comes with rice and beans as well as some plantains. I'm gonna try the thigh piece first. Okay. I'm definitely getting a lot of that peppery, tangy jerk seasoning flavor in there. Very flavorful. You're also getting that faint smokiness from the grill, and I do think it's a bit spicy. The one thing is that I do wish the chicken was a bit more moist and juicy. I think that would have really made it the perfect dish. I'm gonna try the drumstick piece. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah. Drumsticks here, definitely a lot juicier, and it's quite spicy. The marinade in here really packs so much flavor. It's smoky, it's salty, it's tangy, it's peppery, and most importantly, it's actually quite spicy, so you have been warned. Overall, this is a pretty decent jerk chicken. The drumsticks are juicy, the thighs could be even juicier. The only thing I would change is maybe tone down the salt a little bit. I do think right now it leans on the salty side. And now I'm gonna try it with the rice and beans. Also gonna get some jerk sauce in there. Oh yeah, this is such a hearty bite. What I really like about mixing everything together is somehow you're kind of getting this nice earthiness from the rice and beans. It's kind of like an herbal flavor, very, very nice with the chicken and the sauce. Now I'm gonna try the plantains. Oh my God. I must say, I'm not usually a big fan of plantains, but this is really, really nicely done. The edges, they're so nicely caramelized. I'm actually getting a crunch when I bite into it. And it also has a really nice soft center. And when you pair it with that jerk chicken, you're really getting that savory, sweet flavors. It's just hitting all the notes for me. Dang, this place is so solid, I'm telling you. So good. And right now we're here at Oklava Cafe. This is a tiny little Turkish cafe that opened maybe just around a few years ago, and they are really known for their Turkish pastries and desserts, from baklava to Turkish delights. There are literally so many varieties and flavors to choose from, and most of them are actually shipped directly from Istanbul. I seriously need a caffeine boost right now, so I'm gonna get their Turkish coffee. I'm also gonna get their knefe because they do a pretty good one here, and that's actually my favorite Turkish dessert. So here we have the Turkish coffee. It comes in this beautiful little cup, and there's also a Turkish delight on the side. It also comes with a side of sparkling water. All right, I'm gonna try the coffee first. It's strong. So the version we have here is quite smooth, it's quite flavorful, but it doesn't have that super bitter aftertaste that some Turkish coffees can have. This is a super rich and bold coffee, so I will chase it down with the sparkling water. Much needed. Just so great for cleansing your palate. Now I'm gonna try the Turkish delight. I'm so happy they gave me the rose flavor. That's actually my favorite here. This one right here is perfectly soft, it's chewy. There's a really nice floral fragrance to it. I've always been obsessed with Turkish delight ever since I was a kid who watched the Narnia movie. It just looked so good, but it was so hard to find in Hong Kong. This one right here, it really hits the spot for me. I just love the sticky chewiness. The texture is what makes it so fun to eat. Maybe that's why kids love it. And I can actually see why they would pair this with a coffee, because the sweetness from the Turkish delight really helps cut through that intense coffee flavor, so you're getting a better balance for sure. Pretty good. So here we have the knefe. This one takes around 20 minutes to heat up, and it's always my go-to whenever I come here. So right on top there's pistachios, and the whole thing is just crusted with this shredded phyllo dough. And underneath you get the soft, stretchy cheese. I think there's also some syrup drizzled on top. All right, let's give it a try. What I love about knefe in general is, again, that textural contrast. You get these lovely strips of pastry on top. It's crispy, it's golden, it's crunchy. And then the inside, it's just filled with that soft cheese. And that syrup in here rounds everything out nicely because you're getting that sweet flavor, it's buttery. And of course, the pistachio powder on top really adds this nice earthy nuttiness tone to it. The only critique I have here is that I wish the cheese in here was even meltier. I wish it was more pooly, more stretchy. But that said, it could totally be my fault because I've been so busy filming. But I've had this in the past and I don't recall it being super stretchy. Overall, is this the best knefe I've ever had? No, but it definitely scratches the itch for me. So right now we're here at SGD Tofu House. This is a long-standing mom and pop restaurant that's been around for the last 2 decades. They're really well known for the tofu soup, but they also serve other traditional Korean dishes. We're gonna try a little bit of everything today. We're gonna get a seafood pancake, and then we're also getting the seafood tofu soup, galbi, as well as spicy cold noodles because it's really hot today. First, we're gonna try their banchan. There's so many different kinds here. There's potatoes, cucumbers, fish cake. I'm so glad they have fish cake and caramelized potato. That's actually my favorites of all time. Let's give it a try. I definitely need refills for this one. It's nicely sweet and just stewed to tenderness. So lovely. I can just eat this all day, every day. Let's give this kimchi a try. Kimchi is so fresh, nicely crunchy, very tangy, and really cold as well. Pretty good. And now the fish cake. The fish cake is on the harder side, but the flavor is amazing. Very savory and nicely sweet. Honestly, the bonton here is really solid. So first up, we have the seafood pancake right here. The portion here is pretty generous, and I can see some peppers and seafood in the pancake. Gonna dip it in some sauce. All right, let's give it a try. Okay, so the texture of this pancake is actually a little bit different than what I'm used to in a good way. It's actually more eggy and fluffy on the inside, and then the outside, you're still getting that crispy edge. I think personally, I do prefer it to be on the thinner, crispier side, but that said, I really love how this pancake is just completely loaded with seafood and scallions and chives. It's a pretty good ingredient to dough ratio for sure. And when you pair with that sweet, tangy vinegar sauce, that acidity just adds an incredible balance to the pancake, where you're getting that savory and bright flavors all at the same time. And now we have the absolute star of the show, the seafood tofu soup. It comes out bubbling hot and it's just loaded with chunks of tofu and seafood in there. All right, let's give it a try. Oh wow. Also, they're definitely not fucking around with the spice. It is very spicy for sure. Do you think it's spicy? My friend who's with me right now actually said he doesn't think it's spicy at all.
Not spicy.
So definitely me, I'm just weak with spice. This is such a delicious broth. It's very deep and savory in flavor, and you're definitely getting that sweetness from the seafood, which is really nice. It's also not overly salty like the other places, super comforting. And the tofu in here is really what makes this whole soup stand out. It's soft and silky without it completely breaking apart easily. It just pairs so well to the broth because it adds this really nice creaminess. There's also a lot of seafood in there too. There's some squid, there's shrimp, some clams, and they all add layers of flavor and texture to the soup. So good. And here we have the galbi short ribs. It comes stacked onto a sizzling plate, and it's also sitting on a bed of onions. Oh, look at those grill marks right there. Let's give it a try. Wow, this meat right here is tender, it's so juicy, and literally just fall right off the bone. The marinade here gives it that sweet, savory depth that pairs so nicely with that smokiness from the grill, and those onions underneath really help soak up all those juices without going to waste. A really solid galbi. And finally, we have the spicy cold noodles. It's topped with cucumber, pickled radish, boiled egg, and a slice of beef. All right, let's give it a try. Okay. I do think the noodles here can be even bouncier and chewier. What I love about eating these cold noodles in general is definitely that chewiness. This one right here is definitely slurpable, but it is on the softer side. Not exactly my preference here. But that said, it is super refreshing, especially towards the end of the meal and on such a hot day. The sauce in here is spicy, it's sweet, it's tangy, so it's very, very appetizing, especially when you're eating all this rich food from the galbi and also the pancake. It just adds this fruity tartness and brightness that just cleanses your palate. So for our last stop of this tour, we are right here at Zareens. This is a super popular Bay Area restaurant specializing in Pakistani Punjabi food, named after the owner herself. We're going big for a finale, so we're gonna get the Gola Kebab Sizzler, beef chapli sizzler with shirmal, chicken tikka masala, and their famous masala chai. And before we dig in, I would love to give a shout out to my friend Abir for schooling me on some of the details behind these dishes that we'll dive into later. So here we have the Gola Kebab Sizzler. This is a super popular dish in Pakistan, but here on the menu, it comes with a warning that says for adventurous palates only. So according to legend, this dish was invented for a toothless king, which explains why the texture of the meat is really finely minced, and it's marinated with unripe papaya, which is a natural tenderizer, so the meat itself is really soft. This is probably a texture that a lot of people are not very used to, hence the warning. All right, let's give it a try. Wow, I don't think I've had anything like this before. It's definitely really soft, and it's also packed with spices. Texture-wise, it's kind of like mushy, melt in your mouth, really buttery. The flavor though, it's so bold and complex. It's smoky, it's gingery, it's garlicky. It really hits you as a very, very flavorful kind of spicy, rather than just burning spice. And now I'm gonna try it with the shirmal, which is this soft, slightly sweet bread. Apparently, if we want to compare this to naan, in white people terms, naan would be kind of like a flatbread, and this one would kind of be like a brioche. And how you're supposed to eat it is that you put some kebab and onion on there, drizzle some of that mint cilantro chutney, and then wrap it like a taco with a shirmal. And ta-da! Let's give it a try. That's good. Wow, the sweetbread in here definitely gives a nice cushion to the richness of that kebab. I feel like the meat is just melting into everything. And then of course, that chutney really brightens everything up. That mint chutney is herby and it's tangy, which just complements the smoky, spicy flavors of the patty so well. And then the onions are nicely caramelized, which adds another layer of sweetness and smokiness, making it a really balanced bite. So good. And here we have the beef chapli kebab. This is kind of like a spicy burger patty, except more like a fried meatloaf in the way that it's prepared. The ground beef is mixed with onions, tomatoes, pomegranate seeds, and then deep fried under the edges so it's crispy. Let's give this a try. Because there's so many ingredients in here, you can definitely feel the textures of the seeds and the tomatoes. There's a lot going on. This one right here definitely has like a tangier aromatic flavor profile. I really like how the exterior is lightly crisp and then the inside is really moist and tender. The patty itself is definitely super flavorful. It's spicy, it's savory. Again, this is gonna go so well with the shirmal and chutney. And finally, we have the chicken tikka masala. Apparently what makes the curries here so special is they use the dungar technique, which is heating the ghee under hot charcoal and then sealing the smoke into the pot to infuse that smoky flavor to the dish. All right, let's give it a try. Oh yeah. I think what makes this masala really stand out is definitely the smokiness, and then the sauce is also so buttery and creamy. You can definitely taste the tomatoes, the cream, and the spices in there. It's the perfect balance of sweet and savory, and that chicken is hella tender as well. This is gonna go so well with the basmati rice. So fragrant. This is honestly the perfect bite. I know this is such a basic dish to get at Indian restaurants, but honestly, they just do it so well here. I feel like these days it's kind of rare to find that really nice smoky flavor imparted into the curries. That's what makes this place stand out compared to the rest of the places here in the Bay Area. So good. And to finish off the meal, here we have the masala chai. This chai is apparently super well known within the Indian community here. It's just that good. Let's give it a try. Ooh, oh my God. This is really good. It's so bold in flavor, so fragrant, and just balanced in that sweetness. It's spiced really well in there, so you can definitely taste the cardamom as well as the ginger. I also really love how the spice in here is not overpowering. You can still taste the tea for sure. I don't normally like chai, but this is a really, really good one. This right here just makes me want to slow down and die into food coma in the best way possible. So good. And yeah, that's all we have for today. Please let me know if you would like a part 2 for Palo Alto, and thank you so much for coming with us on this tour. And if you guys like videos like this and want to see more food tours around the Bay Area, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!